had this hard case on the outside, but yet she's this delicate Juliet on the inside. And I think it's nice for everyone to see that part of her, because obviously she wasn't taken care of as a child. So I think this season you're seeing her being taken care of by Marianne's character, and I think that's sort of a nice thing to see for her. Even though people miss the fiery, feisty anger, it's nice to see another range.
Okay. And Alan, as we've seen, there's going to be a lot of action coming up in the second half of the season. As a writer, how do you balance all the action with the close emotional relationships that this show has come to be known for as well? How do you balance those two things?
I actually make a joke about us having a sign in the writer's room that says, "It's the emotions, stupid." We don't actually have that sign, but we might as well, because without that, all of the action and all of the crazy set pieces and all of the, craziness in the world is just going to be, it's not going to have a heart, it's not going to have a soul. And so we just really work really hard to always remember who these characters are, what they want, what their passions are, what they need, what they're fighting for, so that the other stuff has a foundation, an emotional foundation. And I think that's one of the reasons that, I know that's one of the reasons I responded to Charlene's books as much as I did, because that was very much true of her books, and we were just trying to do the same thing in the show.
Okay. All right, now, and a source of a lot of this action coming up is Marianne. And Michelle, I wanted to ask you, especially for this crowd here at Comic-Con, they know you from other shows in the sort of in the sci-fi fantasy genre, and we've seen you play some very powerful women, and again in True Blood, a very powerful woman. So why do you think this genre lends itself to female characters who are this powerful?
I think this genre gives a lot of freedom to see things that could be possible in the future, and that is women. Mary McDonnell and I spoke a lot about this on Battlestar. She's a goddess, by the way. And I think that it just sort of opens up it takes a lot of the cliches out of our minds. We're able to have more freedom in our thought. And I think it's just a very forgiving genre, and especially on this show, everything is so heightened in one sense, but the beautiful thing about Alan and our writers is it's so grounded in emotions, and I think we're seeing an entirely new love for these different genres.
Okay. And Nelson, everybody loves Lafayette. But Lafayette is having a little post-traumatic stress disorder these days. He's been through quite a time. How would you say his worldview has changed since he had his pretty bad experience down there in the basement?
Well, I think Lafayette's hustle is supreme, and he's figured out that it's not going to work for him to get him out of the situation, and that's something that's foreign. So now I think he's rethinking his hustle, and maybe he's going to stop doing it. But we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, thank you. Charlene, you and I have talked before, and something funny that came up when we were talking was, you were saying, when I first saw True Blood, when I first saw it, there were some scenes that made me just go, whoa, I had to cover my eyes. So can you tell us a little bit about that experience when you first saw your book brought to life?
HBO was kind enough to send me a copy before the premiere, and I watched it, and some of the scenes I went, oh! And then I called my husband and I said, honey, we're going to have to move.
assuming we all know what those scenes were.